Hamburger Sport-Verein e.V. Hamburg _ Verein, commonly known as Hamburger SV, Hamburg or HSV, ɛʔaɪ, is a German sport club based in Hamburg, its largest branch being its football department. Although the current HSV was founded in June 1919 from a merger of three earlier clubs, it officially traces its origin to September 29, 1887 when the first of the predecessors, SC Germania, was founded. HSV is one of Germany's oldest and most famous football teams with the unique distinction of having played continuously in the top tier of the German football league system since the end of World War I. It is the only team that has played in every season of the Bundesliga since its foundation in 1963, at which time the team was led by German national captain Uwe Seeler. HSV has won the German national championship 6 times, the DFB Pokal 3 times and the League Cup twice. The team's most successful period was from the mid-1970s until the mid-1980s when, in addition to several domestic honours, they won the 1976 Euro 77 European Cup Winners' Cup and the 1982 Euro 83 European Cup. Their outstanding player was German national star Felix Magath. To date, HSV's last major trophy was the 1986 Euro 87 DFB Pokal. HSV play their home games at the Volksparkstadion in Bielefeld, a western district of Hamburg. The stadium is currently entitled the Hamburg Arena through a sponsorship deal. The club colors are officially blue, white and black, but the home kit of the team is white jerseys and red shorts. The team's most common nickname is Die Rotheten. As it is one of Germany's oldest clubs, it is also known as Der Dinosaurier. HSV have rivalries with Werder Bremen, with whom they contest the Nordderby, and Hamburg-based FC St. Pauli. HSV is notable in football as a grassroots organization with youth development a strong theme. The club had a team in the Women's Bundesliga from 2003 to 2012 but it was demoted to Regionalliga level because of financial problems. Other club departments include badminton, baseball, basketball, bowling, boxing, cricket, darts, hockey, golf, gymnastics, handball and cardiopulmonary rehabilitation exercises. These departments represent about 10% of the club membership. HSV is one of the biggest sports clubs in Germany with over 70,000 members in all its departments and stated by Forbes to be among the 20 largest football clubs in the world. History, early years, Hamburger Sport-Verein traces its origin to the merger of Der Hohenfelder Sportclub and Wandsbek Marienthaler Sportclub on September 29, 1887 to form Sport Club Germania Hamburg, usually referred to as SC Germania. This was the first of 3 clubs that merged on June 2, 1919 to create HSV in its present form. HSV in its club statute recognizes the founding of SC Germania as its own date of origin. The other 2 clubs in the June 1919 merger were Hamburger FC founded in 1888 and FC Falkependorf dating back to 1906. The merger came about because the 3 clubs had been severely weakened by the impact of the First World War on manpower and finance and they could not continue as separate entities. SC Germania was formed originally as an athletics club and did not begin to play football until 1891, when some Englishmen joined the club and introduced it. SC Germania had its first success in 1896, winning the Hamburg Altona Championship for the first of 5 times. Germania player Hans Nobiling emigrated to Brazil at the end of the 19th century, where he became an important pioneer of the game, instrumental in the foundation of SC Internacional, the third oldest club of the country which became part of São Paulo FC in 1938 and SC Germa Centenário of São Paulo, which later became EC Pinheiros, one of the major sports clubs of Brazil. Hamburger, South Carolina, 1888 was founded by students on June 1, 1888. It later had links with a youth team called FC Victoria 95 and, during the First World War, was temporarily known as Victoria Hamburg 88. SC Germania and Hamburger, South Carolina, 1888 were among 86 clubs who founded the Deutscher Fußballbund in Leipzig on January 28, 1900. FC Falk was founded by students in Eppendorf on March 5, 1906, but it was never a successful team and played in lower leagues. The newly formed Hamburger SV quickly became competitive and contested the 1922 national final against 1. FC Nuremberg, who were playing for their third consecutive title. The game was called off on account of darkness after 3 hours and 10 minutes of play, drawn at 2-2. The rematch also went into extra time, and in an era that did not allow for substitutions, that game was called off at 2-2 when Nuremberg were reduced to just 7 players and the referee ruled they could not continue. Considerable wrangling ensued over the decision. The DFB awarded the win to HSV but urged them to refuse the title in the name of good sportsmanship. Ultimately, the Victoria Trophy was not officially presented that year. HSV's first unqualified success was achieved in the 1923 German Football Championship when they won the national title against Union Oberscharfen Paragraphenwed. They failed to defend the title in 1924, losing the final to Nuremberg, but lifted the Victoria again in 1928 when they defeated Hertha BSC 5-2 at the Altona Stadion in the final. During the Third Reich, HSV enjoyed local success in the Gauliga Nordmark, also known as the Gauliga Hamburg, winning the league championship in 1937, 1938, 1939, 1941 and 1945. At national level the club was unsuccessful with semi-final losses in 1938 and 1939, their best performances in this period. Its main rival in the Gauliga in those years was Eimsbüttel 1/4 TTELERTV. Post-war era, HSV's first post-war season was in the newly formed State Liga Hamburg and they won its championship in 1946. The club also won the championship of the British occupation zone in 1947 and 1948, the only 2 seasons this competition was staged. HSV became the first German team to tour the United States after the Second World War in May 1950 and came away with a 6-0 record. Playing in the Oberliga Nord after the resumption of league play in post-war West Germany in 1947, HSV became a frighteningly dominant regional club. In 16 seasons from 1947-48 to 1962-63 they laid claim to the Oberliga title 15 times, only posting an uncharacteristic 11th place finish in 1953-54. During this period, they scored over 100 goals in each of the 1951, 1955, 1961, and 1962 seasons. In 1953, the club's all-time leading goal-scorer Uwe Seeler debuted. In 9 seasons he scored 267 goals in 237 Oberliga matches. However, national titles were harder to come by. In 1956, HSV reached a DFB Pokal final but were beaten by Karlsruhe SC. This was followed by losses in the finals of the national championship to Borussia Dortmund in 1957 and FC Schalke 04 in 1958. In 1960, HSV became German champions for the first time since 1928, defeating 1. FC Karl Paragraphen 3-2 in the championship final. Seeler, who scored twice in the final, was named West German Player of the Year. As national champions, HSV represented West Germany in the 1960-61 European Cup. The club's first ever match in European competition was a 5-0 defeat of Swiss club BSC Young Boys in Bern, with HSV winning the tie 8-3 on aggregate. In the quarter-finals they beat English champions Burnley, before being defeated by FC Barcelona at the semi-final stage in a playoff game after the scores were level over 2 legs. The crowd of 77,600 at the Volkspark Stadion for the first leg against Barcelona remains the record attendance for a HSV home match. Entry into the Bundesliga. For more details on this topic, see Introduction of the Bundesliga. Soon after, Germany's first professional football league, the Bundesliga, was formed and HSV was one of 16 clubs invited to join that first season. Hamburger SV currently holds the distinction of being the only original Bundesliga side to have played continuously in the top flight without ever having been relegated since the formation of the league in 1963. They had shared that special status with Eintracht Frankfurt and 1. FC Kaiserslautern until 1996, and with 1. FC Karl-Paragraph-Erlangen until 1998. Altogether, 49 other sides have come and gone since the league's inception. The Bundesliga celebrated its 40th anniversary on August 24, 2004 with a match between the Dinosaur, as the club has been affectionately nicknamed due to its old age, and Bayern Munich, the league's most successful side. In August 1963, HSV defeated Borussia Dortmund 3-0 at Hannover's Niedersachsenstadion to win the club's first DFB Pokal. In the same month the club played its first ever Bundesliga match, drawing 1-1 with SC Praia 1/4 NSTER. HSV finished the Bundesliga's first season in 6th place, with Uwe Seeler scoring 30 goals to secure the Torjäger currency Gurkenone. He was also named Footballer of the Year for the second time. The DFB Pokal victory enabled HSV to play in the 1963 Euro 64 European Cup Winners' Cup and they reached the quarter-final. In 1967, HSV again reached the final of the DFB Pokal where they were defeated 4-0 by FC Bayern Munich. However, HSV were admitted to the following season's European Cup Winners' Cup where they lost to AC Milan in the final. In 1970, Seeler was named Footballer of the Year for the third time. He retired at the end of the 1971 Euro 72 season in front of 72,000 fans at the Volksparkstadion. He ended his career with 137 goals from 239 Bundesliga matches and 507 goals from 587 appearances in all competitions. In the same season, HSV played in the UEFA Cup for the first time but were knocked out in the first round by St Johnstone Golden Era. In 1973, HSV won the first edition of the DFB Liga Pokal, beating Borussia Mönchengladbach 4-0 in the final. A year later, they reached the DFB Pokal final, where they were beaten by Eintracht Frankfurt. In 1976, HSV reached another DFB Pokal final, beating 1. FC Kaiserslautern 2-0 to win the trophy for the second time in the club's history. The following year, HSV achieved its first international success with a 2-0 win over Belgian club RSC Anderlecht in the final of the 1976 Euro 77 European Cup Winners' Cup. The club then signed English superstar Kevin Keegan from European champions Liverpool. After spending much of the previous decade in mid-table, HSV had achieved their best Bundesliga position in 1974 Euro 75 by finishing fourth. This was then bettered in 1975 Euro 76 with a second-place finish. Keegan's first season at the club saw the team slip to a disappointing 10th place, however, the player himself was named European Footballer of the Year. In 1978, Branko Zebek was appointed trainer of HSV. The Yugoslav led the club to its first ever Bundesliga title in his first season in charge. Keegan top-scored for Die Rothesen and was awarded the Ballon d'Or for a second successive year. In the 1979 Euro 80 season, HSV returned to the European Cup for the first time since 1960 Euro 61. As had happened 19 years ago, HSV faced Spanish opposition in the semi-finals. After losing the first leg at the Estadio Santiago Bernabéu copyright to Euro 0, HSV thrashed six-time winners Real Madrid 5-1 at the Volksparkstadion to qualify for the final. HSV returned to Madrid to play Nottingham Forest in the final, where they were beaten 1-0. In the Bundesliga, HSV missed out on defending their title by 2 points, finishing in second place behind champions Bayern Munich. In December 1980, HSV dismissed Zebek, who had been struggling with a drinking problem. His assistant Alexander Ristia was appointed caretaker for the remainder of the season and secured a creditable second-place finish in the Bundesliga. In 1981, Austrian coach Ernst Happel was appointed as Zebek's permanent replacement. In his first season, his HSV side regained the Bundesliga title and reached the UEFA Cup final, where they lost 4-0 on aggregate to Sweden's IFK Göteborg. Between 16 January 1982 and 29 January 1983 HSV went undefeated in the Bundesliga. The run stretched across 36 games and remained a Bundesliga record until November 2013, when it was broken by FC Bayern Munich. A third Meistertitel followed at the end of the 1982-83 season, with HSV defending their title against local rivals SV Werder Bremen on goal difference. The same year, HSV recorded its greatest ever success, defeating Juventus 1-0 in Athens to win the club's first European Cup. In December 1983, HSV traveled to Tokyo where they faced South American champions Grêmio in the Intercontinental Cup. The Brazilian club took home the trophy with a 93rd minute winning goal. Back home, they lost the league championship to VfB Stuttgart on goal difference. Both 1984-85 and 1985-86 were disappointing seasons for HSV, with the club finishing 5th and 7th respectively. In 1986, legendary midfielder Felix Magath, who had played for the club for 10 years and scored the winning goal in the 1983 European Cup final, retired from professional football. In 1986-87, HSV finished second in the Bundesliga and won a fourth DFB Pokal, beating Stuttgarter Kickers 3-1 in the final at West Berlin's Olympiastadion. After this success, Ernst Happel left the club to return to Austria. He remains HSV's most successful trainer with 2 Bundesliga titles, 1 DFB Pokal and 1 European Cup. Modern era. In the early 1990s, HSV found itself in financial trouble. The sale of Thomas Doll to SS Lazio for a then-record 16 million Deutsche Marks in June 1991 is credited with ensuring the club's survival. On the pitch the team was in decline. After a 5th-place finish in 1990-91, HSV finished in the bottom half of the Bundesliga in 4 consecutive seasons. In October 1995, Felix Magath returned to HSV to become the club's trainer. The following month, Uwe Seeler also returned as the club president. Under the new regime, HSV finished 5th in the Bundesliga, securing European qualification for the first time in 6 years. The following season, HSV reached the semi-finals of the DFB Pokal. However, in May 1997, Magath was fired after a 4-0 defeat to 1. FC Ellen with the team 1 place above the relegation zone. HSV eventually finished in 13th place under reserve team coach Wolf Skär. In 1997, HSV appointed Frank Pagelsdorf, who had coached the team for over 4 years, making him the longest-serving trainer since Ernst Happel. A 9th-place finish in 1997-98 was followed by 7th in 1998-99 and 3rd in 1999-2000, the team's best performance since 1986-87. On September 2, 2000, the new Volkspark Stadion was officially opened as the national team played its first 2002 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Greece. In 2000-01, HSV competed in the UEFA Champions League for the first time since the competition's expansion from the old European Cup. Their first match was an extraordinary 4-4 draw against Juventus, with Anthony Yeboah scoring the club's first Champions League goal. Though HSV failed to qualify for the second round, they did manage a historic 3-1 win over Juve in the return fixture at the Stadio dell'Alpi. In July 2003, HSV won its first trophy in 16 years with a 4-2 defeat of Borussia Dortmund in the DFB Liga Pokal final. In August 2004, HSV was upset in the early rounds of the DFB Pokal by regional league side SC Paderborn 07. The match became one of the most infamous in recent football history when it was discovered that referee, Robert Heuser, had accepted money from a Croatian gambling syndicate to fix the match, which he did, awarding 2 penalties to Paderborn and sending off HSV player Emil Mpenza. The resulting scandal became the biggest in German football in over 30 years, and was an embarrassment to the country as it prepared to host the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Another third-place finish in 2005 a Euro 06 saw HSV qualified for the Champions League for the second time. They finished bottom of Group G with a solitary win against Russian club CSKA Moscow. In the league the team was in 17th place going into the winter break, having won once in the league all season, leading to the dismissal of trainer Thomas Doll. Under new coach Hugh Stevens, HSV pulled away from the relegation zone and qualified for the UEFA Cup via a 7th-place finish and victory in the Intertoto Cup. The following season, Stevens led the team to 4th place in the Bundesliga before leaving to take over at Dutch champions PSV of Eindhoven. He was replaced by Martin Jol, who took HSV to the semi-finals of both the 2008 Euro 09 UEFA Cup and the 2008 Euro 09 DFB Pokal, both of which Die Rothesen lost to rivals Werder Bremen. In the league they missed out on Champions League qualification on the final day of the season. In the summer of 2009, after only one season, Jol departed to become coach of AFC Ajax. Under new coach Bruno Labbadia, HSV reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup for the second season in a row. However, a defeat in the away leg to Fulham days after the firing of Labbadia denied the club the opportunity to play in the final, which was held at its home stadium. On October 13, 2011 Horsten Fink was appointed as coach with the team in the relegation zone after losing 6 of their opening 8 matches. In HSV's first 9 games under Fink they were unbeaten, going into the winter break in 13th place. The team eventually finished 15th, avoiding a first-ever relegation by 5 points. In 2012 a Euro 13, HSV recorded a much improved 7th-place finish. However, during the season the team equaled the club's record Bundesliga defeat, losing 9 Euro 2 at the Allianz Arena to FC Bayern Munich. Fink was replaced on September 25, 2013 by Bert van Marwijk. The club avoided its first-ever relegation from the Bundesliga in May 2014 by defeating SPVGG Grue the FAR 1/4 on away goals in a playoff. Stadium. Hamburg plays its home games in the Volksparkstadion, which is currently called the Imtech Arena through a sponsorship deal. Built on the site of the original Volksparkstadion, opened in 1953, the current stadium was opened in 2000, and has a capacity of 57,000 euro approximately 47,000 seats with another 10,000 spectators standing. The first Volksparkstadion had been a venue for the 1974 FIFA World Cup and UEFA Euro 1988. The Volksparkstadion is a UEFA Category 1 stadium, which certifies it to host UEFA Cup and UEFA Champions League finals. The stadium was the site of 4 group matches and a quarter-final in the past 2006 FIFA World Cup, hosted by Germany, and was known as FIFA World Cup Stadium Hamburg during the event. It was also the venue for the 2010 UEFA Europa League final. HSV fans can be buried at a dedicated graveyard near the home stadium, covered in turf from the original Hamburg pitch. Rivals and affinities. HSV shares a cross-town rivalry with FC St. Pauli and contests the Nordderby with fellow Northern Germany side Werder Bremen. In the spring of 2009 HSV faced Werder Bremen 4 times in only 3 weeks, and defeated them in the UEFA Cup semi-final, as well as in the DFB Pokal semi-final. HSV have an affinity with Scottish club Rangers FC. HSV fans unfurl their club logo at Rangers away European matches. The link between Rangers and Hamburg dates back to 1977 when the Hamburg Rangers Supporters Club was set up by HSV fans who had visited Rangers matches before and were thrilled by the atmosphere at Ibrox. The links were further strengthened when Rangers signed Jar Paragraph RG Alberts from Hamburg. The friendship between Celtic FC and Hamburg's rivals FC St. Pauli has no influence on this friendship though. HSV have a friendship bond with Hannover 96, due to both being known as HSV. Their meetings involve the visitors' club song to be played, and fans chanting HSV from each end of the stadium. Club kit and colors. The club colors are officially blue, white and black according to its statute, but the fans use the combination ʃpɔʁt in their songs and chants. They also chant Hamburger SV. The club crest is a black and white diamond on a blue background. These were the colors of SC Germania. The use of the blue background suggests a link with Hamburg's maritime tradition, as the blue Peter flag signal is a white rectangle on a similar blue background. In contrast, the team's home kit is white jerseys and red shorts, which are the colors of the free and Hanseatic city of Hamburg. As a result, the team's most common nickname is Die Rothisen. Because of its age and having been ever present in the top flight of German football, HSV is also known as Der Dinosauria and currently uses a dinosaur mascot called Hermann for marketing purposes. HSV's kit was made by Adidas from 1976 to 1995, and the club re-engaged Adidas in 2007, having worked with a number of its competitors in the meantime. The first shirt sponsorship was introduced in 1974. The shirt now carries the Fly Emirates logo. The following is a list of shirt sponsors by date. Hamburger SV in Europe. HSV's first participation in European competition came after they won the German Championship in 1960 and were invited to take part in the 1960 Euro 61 European Cup. They had a bye in the preliminary round and their first round opponents were BSC Young Boys. HSV won the two-legged tie 8-3 on aggregate, beating the Swiss side 0-5 in the away leg on November 2, 1960, and then drawing 3-3 at home on November 27. HSV reached the semi-final of the European Cup in 1961. Subsequently, they have twice played in the final, losing 1-0 to Nottingham Forest in 1980 and defeating Juventus 1-0 in 1983. With Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, HSV is one of three German teams who have won the European Cup. HSV won the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup in 1976, a Euro 77, and have been runners-ups in both that competition and the UEFA Cup. Their most recent European campaign was the 2009 Euro 10 UEFA Europa League, in which they reached the semi-final. HSV's biggest win in a European match occurred on October 23, 1974, when they defeated Romanian team FC Brașov 8-0 in a UEFA Cup second-round tie. Their biggest defeat was in the second leg of the 1977 Super Cup, when they lost 6-0 to Liverpool at Anfield on December 6. Manfred Kölz with 81 has made the most appearances for HSV in Europe, and Horst Hrubesch with 20 is their leading goal scorer. Based on data published by UEFA, a summary of HSV's European record to the end of the 2012 Euro 13 season is as follows. According to UEFA, HSV is currently ranked 62 among European clubs. Honours: HSV held the record of post-World War II first-class league titles, having won 15 Oberliga Nord and 3 Bundesliga championships until 2006, when Bayern Munich won its 19th Bundesliga title and overtook them. Hamburg's 3 Bundesliga championships entitle the club to display 1 gold star of the Verdienst Meisterverein. Under the current award system, their pre-Bundesliga championships are not recognized, and so they are not entitled to the second star of a 5-time champion. After the replay of the championship final in 1922 had to be abandoned due to the opponents no longer having enough players on the ground, the German FA requested HSV to renounce the title, which the club did. International titles: Intercontinental Cup. Runners-up, 1983. European Cup/UEFA Champions League. Winners, 1982 Euro 83, runners-up, 1979 Euro 80. European Cup Winners' Cup. Winners, 1976 Euro 77, runners-up, 1967 Euro 68. UEFA Cup/UEFA Europa League. Runners-up, 1982. European Super Cup. Runners-up, 1977, 1983. UEFA Intertoto Cup. Winners, 2005, 2007, runners-up, 1999, group winners, 1970, 1994. National titles: German champions. Winners, 1922 Euro 23, 1927 Euro 28, 1959 Euro 60, 1978 Euro 79, 1981 Euro 82, 1982 Euro 83, runners-up, 1923 Euro 1924, 1956 Euro 57, 1957 Euro 58, 1975 Euro 76, 1979 Euro 80, 1980 Euro 81, 1983 Euro 84, 1986 Euro 87. DFB Pokal. Winners, 1962 Euro 63, 1975 Euro 76, 1986 Euro 87, runners-up, 1955 Euro 56, 1966 Euro 67, 1973 Euro 74. DFL Super Cup. Runners-up, 1977, 1982, 1987. DFB Liga Pokal. Winners, 1972 Euro 73, 2003. Regional titles, Northern German Football Championship, winners, 1921, 1922, 1923, 1924, 1925, 1928, 1929, 1931, 1932, 1933, runners-up, 1926, 1927. Oberliga Nord, winners, 1948, 1949, 1950, 1951, 1952, 1953, 1955, 1956, 1957, 1958, 1959, 1960, 1961, 1962, 1963. Gauliga Nordmark, winners, 1937, 1938, 1939, 1941, runners-up, 1934, 1935, 1940, 1942. Gauliga Hamburg, winners, 1945, runners-up, 1943, 1944. State Liga Hamburg, winners, 1946, runners-up, 1947. Championship of the British Occupation Zone, winners, 1947, 1948. Other trophies, Trofeo Santiago Bernabéu Copyright U, winners 1982. Pestabile Merdeka, winners 1988. Dubai Challenge Cup, winners 2007, 2008. Emirates Cup, winners 2008. T-Home Cup, winners, 2009. Peace Cup, winners, 2012. Nord Cup, winners, 2013. Players, First Team Squad, as of July 20, 2014, according the official website. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Out on loan, note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Personnel, current technical staff. Head coaches since 1963, served as caretaker coach. Notable players. Other departments, Hamburger SV2. The reserve team serves mainly as the final stepping stone for promising young players before being promoted to the main team. Women's football. The women's section was created in 1970. The team plays in the Bundesliga continuously since the 2003 Euro 04 season. Other sports. The club's rugby department was established in 1925 but ceased operation in the 1990s. It was re-established however in March 2006. The club's men's baseball section, HSV Hamburg, known as the Steelers, was established in 1985 and plays in the first division of the baseball Bundesliga. Other important departments are volleyball and cricket. Hocker Rau was qualified for the 2008 Beijing Olympics of volleyball. HSV Cricket is playing in the League of the North German Cricket Federation and won several first places. References. External links. Official website, Team Statistics, Hamburger SV Formations at Football Lineups, Statistics, Formations and Historical Data at worldfootball.net.